Okay, so we're looking year 9 at your last test and looking through the answers to see how you went. Okay, so we're looking at coordinates. So the coordinate of B is over there, so it's 4 in the X and 2 in the Y. Coordinate G up there, so it's minus 2, 3. T down here, so it's minus 2, minus 5. And U is there, so it's 4 in the X and 0 in the Y. Okay, change the colour. Okay, where's 2, 3? 2, 3 is there, so that's the letter A. 0 minus 2, 0 minus 2 is there, that's the letter M. Okay, so you should have hopefully got up to a good 6-mark start. Okay, coming across. Okay, so we've got 2 points, 5, 2, minus 4, minus 1. So you got your formulas, distance equals x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. The gradient is y2 minus y1, the x2 minus x1, and your midpoint is x1 plus x2 on 2, y1 plus y2 on 2. So if you're using the formulas, that's great. I'm going to do it differently, but you're still using the same things. So we're going to put a minus and put a plus. 5 minus minus 4 is 9, 2 minus minus 1 is 3. So that's going to be the rise, that's going to be the run, and adding 5 plus minus 4 is 1, 2 plus minus 1 is 1, so we're going to use that for the midpoint. So the gradients is the rise over the run, which is a third. The midpoint is those two numbers divided by 2, and the distance is the square root of those two numbers squared. 3 squared, 9 squared, 9 plus 81, square root of 90. I haven't got my calculator with me. 9 9 to 8, so it's 9 point something. I haven't got my calculator with me, so it's 9 point something. Okay, 2 decimal places. Okay, come across. Okay, equation of a line, y equals 3 minus 2x. So all equations of lines are y equals mx plus b. So m, the number in front, is minus 2, so that's the gradient, and the number that's the constant is 3, and that's the y-intercept. Use the information part A to graph using the gradient intercept method. Okay, so in the gradient intercept method, you put the y-intercept first, and the gradient is minus 2, so you go down 2 and cross 1, so the rise is minus 2 and the run is 1, and then you just join those up. Hang on, let's get a straight line. Yeah, it's not quite straight, just move that up a bit, and move that back a bit, so it's something like that. Okay, and what else do I have to do? So graph the line, turn to the pen, graph the line using that method, and label the axes, so it's y, that's x, and label the line, so the line is 3 minus 2x. Okay, move across. Rearrange so that y in gradient intercept form, so we're trying to get it into this form. Okay, so y is positive, so we don't need to move that. We need to move the minus 2x, that becomes 2x, move the 5, and that becomes minus 5. That's the answer. Okay, use the rule y equals 3x plus 5 to find the value of y when x equals 4. So y equals 3 times 4 plus 5, 12 plus 5. So that's a 17. Find the y-intercept for that equation. So the y-intercept is when x equals 0, so just cross off that. So 3y equals 6, so y equals 2, and you could write down 0, 2 if you wanted to. What's the equation of the line which is parallel to the x-axis? Let's just draw it. So parallel to the x-axis, that's the parallel, and 2 units above it. So it has no gradient, so it's just y equals 2. And that's the answer. Come across. State the equation of line, blah blah blah, y equals mx plus b, given the following information. The gradient is 5, so it's 5x, and the y-intercept is 2, so it's just 5x plus 2. Okay, next one, depending on your class, you might have learnt y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. I'm going to do it with y equals mx plus b. So 3 is your front number, m is 2, x is 2, and we don't know b. So 3 equals 4 plus b, so b equals minus 1. When you take the 4 across, it becomes minus 4, and so your answer is 2x minus 1. And then next one, okay, y equals mx plus b. b is 4, so it's going to be plus 4. And we need to find the gradient, so the rise is 4, and the run is 2. The rise is 4, the run is 2, so the gradient is 2. It's heading up to the right, so the gradient is a positive, so the answer is y equals 2x plus 4. Okay, coming across. Excuse me. Okay, the interval has a midpoint of 2, 3. So your coordinates are 1, 5, and your other coordinate is xy. So we have to add those numbers, and add those numbers. So x plus 1 over 2 equals 1, because you have to average the numbers. So x plus 1 equals 2, so x equals 1. And 5 plus y over 2 equals, oh, sorry, made a mistake there. So x plus 1 over 2 equals 2 equals 4, so x equals 3. Okay, 5 plus y over 2 equals 3. 5 plus y equals 6, just cross multiply, so y equals 1. Show by substitution that 5, 16 lies in the line. So we've got y equals 3x plus 1, so 16 equals 3 times 5 plus 1 equals 15 plus 1 equals 16. 16 equals 16 is true, so therefore 516 lies on the line. Okay, moving along, using a table of values for x squared plus 1, choose an appropriate scale. Okay, so square the number of plus 1. So the first one we'll do is 0 squared plus 1 is 1, 2 squared is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, 4 squared is 16, 16 plus 1 is 17, and because of the symmetry, the number at 2 will be the same as the number at 5, or if you do minus 2 squared plus 1 equals 4 plus 1 equals 5. Okay, either way. Okay, so we're going to go up to 17, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 12, 8, 4, and we're going to minus 2, we're going across to 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, so minus 2, 5 is somewhere there, 0, 1 is about there, 2, 5 is about there, and 4, 17 is about there. And so, go draw a line, it curves, and goes back up, and that's your answer. Okay, come across. Okay, sketch the following. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 1, minus 2. So the first line is x equals 2, so that's going to be a vertical line, so that's the first one. And then the next line is y equals minus 2, which is a horizontal line. Okay, so sketch the following, ensure you label your axes, so y, x, and label the graphs, so x equals 2, y equals minus 2, so I've done that, I've labelled the graph axes, I've sketched them. What are the coordinates? Well, the coordinates are 2, minus 2. Okay. Consider the line minus 2/3 x minus 3. Sketch the line using any method. Label the axes, so I'll do that now. Y, X. Clearly mark at least 2 points, and from your graph, what's the value? Okay, so y equals minus 2/3 x minus 3. So the y-intercept is minus 3. So 1, 2, 3. So that's your first point. Now, if I'm using the gradient intercept method, I'm going to go down 2 and then run 3. Okay, so I can't. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So the second point is about there. 1, 2, 3. And okay, so that is, turn pen off, turn off, no, not going to turn off. Okay, so that's 1 point, and that point there was down 2, so we're at minus 5, and then we ran across 3, so that coordinate is there. If you're using intercepts, the x-intercept was opposite number, which is 3 divided by the gradient minus 2/3, which is the same as 3 multiplied by minus around 2, which is minus 9 on 2, which is minus 4.5. So that number there is minus 4.5, 0. So there's different methods. You could have done a table of values. Okay, so I've sketched the graph, label the axes, and I've got to label the graph. So y equals minus 2/3 x minus 3. So I've labeled the graph. Clearly marked the two points. I showed that point, I've showed that point, I've shown that point, whatever. From your graph, what's the value for y equals minus 3? Well, minus 3 is 1, 2, somewhere around there. But I'll just do it y equals minus 2/3 times minus 3 minus 3. Minus and minus is a plus, the 3's cancel out. So I've got 2 minus 3. So I think the answer is minus 1. Okay, come across. Okay, up to a few more questions to go. The temperature is a straight line graph. The initial temperature is at t equals 0, so the initial temperature is 38 degrees Celsius, assuming it's Celsius. Okay, what's the drop each minute? Well, it's dropping 18 in 6 minutes, so it's dropping minus 3 degrees per minute. Okay, write down the rule connecting it. Well, it has to be in the form of y equals mx plus b because it's a straight line, but t is the subject, the gradient is minus 3. Instead of having x, we've got t, and the y-intercept was 38. How many minutes did the temperature drop to 26? So 26 equals minus 3t plus 38. Move the t across to make it plus, move the 26 across to make it negative. So 3t equals 38 minus 26 equals 12. So t equals 4 minutes. Okay. Right, next question. Okay, the equation of a parabola is 2x squared. What's the equation? Translate upward by 3 and half the dilation. Well, if we start with 2x squared, we have half the dilation. Half the, cross that out. No, I'll just do it, yeah. So 2x, half the dilation, and then move it up 3. So the answer is just x squared plus 3. Okay, 2 to go. 3 points form a triangle. Okay, 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's the first point. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's 1. So 3 ones there. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So the triangle is there. Okay, so we formed a triangle, and we've got the midpoints of AB and AC. Show that that line formed is parallel to BC. So BC is down there. That's point A. Okay. So we've got midpoints we have to calculate. So we've got -3, 1 connecting to 0, 5. So we add. So -3 plus 0 is -3. 1 plus 5 equals 6. So the first midpoint is -1.5, 3. The second midpoint connects 3, 1 and 0, 5. And we add the midpoints. 3 plus 0 is 3. 1 plus 5 is 6. So the second midpoint is 1.5, 3. Okay, so that's the midpoints. Done. Now we have to find gradients. So the gradient of BC is this line here, which has no rise and a run of 6. So the gradient is 3. The gradient of the midpoint lines. Okay, that point and that point, they have no rise and they run for 3. So the gradient is 0. So the gradients are the same. So the lines are parallel. Okay, last question. The distance from the origin to the y-intercept is twice the distance from the origin to the x-intercept. So whatever. So if that's the distance x, then that distance is twice. So it's 2x. Okay, because it says the distance is twice to the origin to the x-axis. So that's going to form a triangle. The area of the triangle is 9 units. So area of a triangle is a half times height times base. Times base. So therefore 9 equals a half. Now it said the height is 2x and the base is x. So a half times 2 is 1. X times x is x squared. So some number squared equals 9. So the answer must be 3. So that's 3 and that's 6. Okay, and then what's the equation of the line? So the line could have also been that way as well, where that is x and that is 2x. Same idea. So y equals mx plus b. So if we got the positive one up here, so that's plus 6. The gradient is heading to the left, so it's a negative, and the rise over the run, 6 over 3 is minus 2. And down here, it's also minus 2x, so that's the other answer. Okay, that's it. Thanks, bye.